Snowstorm currently in the Midwest, headed to places like the Ohio Valley, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and then eventually the East Coast. Good morning, I'm meteorologist Pew. It's December 13th, 2025. So continuing the second round of snow, this is already occurring in places like South Dakota, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, as this video is being recorded at 9 a.m. Central Time. Specifically, Southern Idaho, West Virginia, and Southwest Pennsylvania, you guys are going to see most of this snow occur around 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and this is going to last until about 7 a.m. Sunday. Now, on those in the Midwest are probably most likely going to see about 2 to 4 inches of snowfall. Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, you guys are at most risk to see about 4 to 6 inches or greater, especially live on the western portion of the Appalachians. Now on the other side of the mountains, places like the other side of Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, and New York City, you guys are going to see some snow beyond around midnight tonight, and it's going to last until about noon tomorrow. Most areas are going to see about 1 to 4 inches of snowfall, but the areas that are most risk to see about 4 inches or greater are around southeast Pennsylvania to central New Jersey. And then not to mention, we got lake effect snow for the Great Lakes too. So if you live south of Lake Suprior, you guys are going to have 4 to 8 inches of snowfall probably, and this is going to last until about 7 a.m. tomorrow. Eastern portion of Lake Michigan will end about 7 a.m. tomorrow, and also around 3 to 6 inches of snowfall. East of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario, you guys are going to see about 5 to 10 inches of snow, and this is going to last until about Monday at 7 a.m. Looking at the upper troposphere, going from the top to bottom, looking at 300 millibars, we have a really strong jet stream, and we're talking about 140 knots, which is extremely fast. In this case, the greater the wind speed, the greater the weather dynamics that we're going to see at the surface. But going down to 500 millibars or the mid levels, there's two things I want to point out. One, we have a low pressure system somewhere around the Ontario area, and it's pretty broad, and it's going to be one of the main driving forces for this winter weather, especially around the Great Lakes. But the other thing I want to point out is that we have a very subtle embedded trough somewhere around the Midwest. And this shortwave trough is one of the reasons why we saw an amplification of the snow that we saw in Montana yesterday, and why we're seeing a lot of snow for the Midwest today. Because this shortwave trough is causing two things. One, it's bringing in its own vorticity maximum, or essentially an area of spin, and how it's helping with the upward motion. And two, going down to 850 millibars, it's bringing us a very subtle low pressure system, and that's helping with the low level jet to bring in the warm air advection, or essentially a little bit of warmer and more moisture into this area. Some other things I want to point out too, going back at the 300 millibars, looking at this jet streak. And to keep things a little bit more simple, we're going to split this into 4 quadrants. These 2 regions are going to be areas of upper level divergence, and these regions are going to be what we call upper level convergence. All you gotta know is when you hear upper level divergence, especially aloft, the winds are spreading out, and when you have wind spreading out aloft, Earth wants to fill in that space, and so from below you're going to have upward motion. And so specifically looking at the right entrance region of this jet streak, we're going to have upper level divergence. And this is going to track from the Midwest to the mid-Atlantic, and this is one of the main influences for the lift. And so at the surface, we can see this high pressure is finally coming down from Canada into the plains and Midwest, and it's bringing a lot of clockwise flow or northerly flow and bringing in that cold Arctic air. So today, Sunday, Monday, you guys can expect in all these areas to see temperatures in the single digits and wind chills even below -10 to -20.